Garry O'Neal Studios in Baltimore.
You're listening to the See.Plan.Do show with Garry O'Neal.
All right, here you go. Keep the change.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Happy Pod Day! Yeah! Woo! What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to the See.Plan.Do show. My mic sounds nice. Check one, check two. Absolutely. So let's get right to it. Again, welcome to the See.Plan.Do show. My name is Garry O'Neal Jr. And as always, when you see me out in the streets with something that my kids bought, right? My son bought me for Father's Day, he bought me a Naruto shirt. I was in these streets and a kid looked at me and he said, "Nice shirt." He know the vibes. I said, "Thanks." All right. Please don't forget the Junior. Shout out to Pops. And we have another Power Pack podcast here. I'm not gonna lie, yo. Can I just take a moment just to say, I will consider myself a very confident man and a very humble man. You know, even at times like compliments, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I appreciate them. But when I say that this podcast is really, really one of an amazing podcast, if I do say so myself, is there things that I'm going to be changing? Absolutely. From season to season, this may not even look like this next season, right? That's why I take time off. But I really enjoy my show. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are, whenever you are, however you are. Thank you for checking out the show. Season 5, episode 20, You're Overthinking. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about a couple of things, but the biggest on our entree, we're going to be highlighting overthinking, what it looks like and how we can handle it, as well as we're going to talk about those NBA champs, GSW, as well as your week of affirmations. Can I get into my shout outs? Of course you can, Gary. Shout out to my day one A1 listeners, man, my people that they can see the changes, they can see what's going on, people that are sharing us, liking this, subscribing. Again, my day one A1 listeners, my candy corn crew, my OGs, my executive producers, people that are watching this inside of the U.S., outside of the U.S., whether you're watching this for the first time or you've been here. Thank you. You could have literally been anywhere in the world. You could have been doing something. You could have been doing homework. You could have been looking up anything, looking up memes, looking up funny stuff, looking up how-tos on YouTube. But however the universe brought you here to me, I 100% appreciate that. And I'm not going to take it for granted because you could be doing something else. All right. So we got our shout outs out of the way. We talked about what's on the show. Again, you're overthinking. And this is one of those episodes where it's like, man, is this hitting home? Because sometimes I overthink and I got to chill. Right. So let's get to our See.Plan.Do. Hey, moment of the week sponsored by Heart Savers Maryland. And right after a brief commercial from my sponsor, we'll get right to it.
Are you looking to get certified in CPR, first aid, or other life-saving skills? Heart Savers Maryland is your premier CPR training facility. Individual and class sessions available. Schedule your training at heartsaversmd.com. Each second counts. Get trained today.
Your See.Plan.Do moment of the week is entitled, What Can They Say Now? If you are a fan of the NBA, you notice that, shout out and congratulations to the Golden State Warriors for their win over the Boston Celtics 4-2, for them to retain their 4th title. Steph Curry, Finals MVP. This is his first time winning it, 4-time champ. One of the things I like to highlight is the celebration, because it happened on Boston's floor. I was like, man, that's crazy. It happened at Boston. And they celebrated and they went to the back. And this actually came up more than once. As people were popping those bottles and celebrating and jumping around and holding the trophy, we really got to think it's not easy to do this. Some of our superstars never got a title. And the fact that they got 4 is amazing. The fact that Steph Curry, out of those 4, only got the finals MVP, that's an individual award, is amazing. And one of the things, like they were popping bottles, spraying everything everywhere. They got the trophies, all these things happening, man. And one of the things that he said was, what can they say now? And he's speaking on some of the people on these sports channels, these talking heads. And they talked about how many championships he would win moving forward. And some of them said he would never win another championship. And here he is with yet another win. And I'd like to highlight that. What can they say now? I am a strong believer of not worrying about other people and what they think, because they push their agenda on you. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take into consideration your spouse, your partner, your friends who you value their opinion. You should take that into consideration. But at the end of the day, man, the haters, the critics, the naysayers, the negative Nellies, the Debbie Downers, that's what they do. That's their job. So when you're looking at like ESPN or any one of these talking sport platforms, that's their job. They're going to compare LeBron to Jordan. They're going to compare, is it Steph Curry to LeBron? They're going to compare everybody to everybody else, because that's what they're going to do. And they're going to have some people to say, oh, they'll never win again. They'll have them saying some very polarizing things. And here it is, Steph Curry, simply saying, what can they say now? And I share that with you to bring it home to you. Like I said, it's going to be the negative Nellies, the Debbie Downers, the wet blanket Willies. Those people at times can project what they feel in their limited abilities and how they feel about life onto you. So you may have a really amazing idea. You may have a really amazing idea to start a business, to do something, to create something, and you bringing it to those people. And sometimes when you're doing your thing, you're going to get some people that are going to be negative towards you. People that you might have started out working with, that you might have partnered with or anything like that. And you feel like, hey, man, is this person getting jealous of me? Are these people critiquing me? Are these people hating on me? And you might get that. Now, sometimes I feel like a lot of people feel like people are hating on them and people have no idea about that. They just sort of making it up in their mind. But there is critique out here. And what I say to you is that, hey, man, if you want to do something, go ahead and do it. Because the negative Nellies and the wet blanket Willies and the critiques, they're going to be there. Now, what can they say when you do whatever it is you wanted to do? Go back and listen. Think about Howard Schultz. Howard Schultz is the owner of Starbucks. Had a whole episode about it. That 243. Check it out. And imagine if he would have just not believed after the 200th time that somebody said no. The bank said no. What can they say now? You're looking to break generational curses. You might get resistance from your family. You might get resistance from your friends in starting a business. You might get resistance from different people that don't even know you, that they see you online and they chiming in on your business. Look at TikTok. Look at how many people say stuff about people on TikTok. All these different entities. And if you go out here and do it and you succeed, what can they say now? And you know what's funny? I did not even watch the news afterwards, right? Now I'm curious. After this episode, I'm going to go back and look at what people have said, because really, ultimately, the only thing they can do is just congratulate you. See, when people are trying to critique you and you do it right, or something happens, see, the critique is always louder than the apology. The critique or the negative statement is always louder when they have to retract. Think about this. You ever watch the news or listen to the news or read the newspaper or read a magazine? If the magazine or newspaper or written article got it wrong, they have to print a retraction. Now, you can have a huge title and say, hey, this person did this. And if it's wrong, it's going to be a little thing, just like right here. It's going to say, oh, we retract this and we were wrong and we apologize. Blah, blah. So your See.Plan.Do moment of the week is go ahead and do it. Because after you do it and the critics are there and the Debbie Downers and the wet blanket people, you can simply ask them or simply ask them yourself. You can ask yourself, what can they say now? All right, that's your See.Plan.Do moment of the week. What can they say now? All right, moving on. Can we get to our Greenlight Entertainment song of the week? Guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, you know we really can't stream certain songs. Can't stream a lot of songs. But if you check out the playlist at the bottom, you can always see what the song is of the week, the intro song. You can always see what the song is of the week, right? Catch those vibes, okay? A lot of different songs on here on what I'm feeling that day. All right, check it out. Let me know. If you have a song that you really like, you want to share with me, maybe I've never heard of it, you send it to me, and when I use it, guess what? You're going to get the credit right here on the show. All right? So right after a brief commercial word from my sponsor, we'll get right to our appetizer. Let's get it.
Having a wedding, birthday party, or other social or corporate event, contact Greenlight Entertainment today. With our experienced DJs, quality sound, and professional service, we look to make your event the event. Check us out on the web at www.greenlightentertain.com. With Greenlight Entertainment, you have the green light.
You have the green light to do what you want to do. Season 5, episode 20, You're Overthinking. And in this episode, we're going to be highlighting what overthinking looks like, as well as how can we deal with it. All right, let's get to our appetizer of the week. And your appetizer is a week of affirmations. So I love affirmations. If you don't know what affirmations are, they are positive statements that you can have over your life. I 100% believe in your words, in the strength of your words, the power of your words, and that the universe is listening. The universe is listening. So I came across an amazing stuff because, I'm always scouring the internet for amazing articles, reading stuff, articles. Damn, I just really said reading stuff. Articles, right? Videos, all types of media and stuff like that. And so guess what? I came across a week of affirmations that I wanted to just present to you guys. All right. So Monday, here's 7 law of attraction affirmations for each day of the week. Are you guys ready? So you can write them down. All right. Are your pens ready? Of course they are. You always ready with your pen. Here, you've been watching this. You've been watching 20 episodes. You already know what's up. So Monday, this week is going to be amazing. I am ready and grateful for wondrous opportunities, magnificent events, and blessings. That's Monday. So Monday, say that on Monday. We're all going to say it on Monday. Tuesday, I deserve, I attract, and I receive now everything that is optimum and beneficial to me. So actually, you're watching this. This is Tuesday. You can go ahead and drop this tonight before you go to bed. I deserve, I attract, and I receive now everything that is optimum and beneficial for me. Wednesday, I am more and more aligned with my higher self and with what is best for me. I am more and more aligned with myself, my higher self, and with what is best aligned for me. Thursday, I love, I attract, I earn, and I receive money in every way. What kind of way? Every way. With ease and joy, as much as it is optimum and beneficial for me. I'm going to read that again. I love, I attract, I earn, and I receive money in every way. With ease and joy. As much as it is optimum and beneficial for me. That was Thursday. Friday, I attract the optimum woman or man in my life according to my highest good. I attract the optimum woman or man in my life according to my highest good. Saturday, I am glad that I am alive, that I am healthy. I eat, drink, and I make love with joy. I enjoy every moment of my life. I am glad that I am alive, that I am healthy. I eat, drink, and I make love with joy. I enjoy every moment of my life. And Sunday, I am grateful for this amazing week that I've had. And I am ready for a new one, filled with exciting, beneficial adventures. And I'll make sure I post this. That is 7 law of attraction affirmations for each day of the week. So what I'd like you to do, because I'm going to do this too, guys, starting tonight, let's say these affirmations for the rest of we're in June all the way. Let's just do it for one entire month. So starting tonight, and we're going to keep saying them each week until we get to July. Okay? 7 law of attraction affirmations for each day of the week. I love those. I saw those. I said, oh, I got to share this with my peeps. Share these with my peeps. All right. Here we go. So season 5, episode 20, you're overthinking. All right. And in this episode, again, See.Plan.Do show, Garry O'Neal Jr., professional mindset coach, business coach, relationship coach, whatever coach you need me to be. I'm here. I can put you in the game. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about overthinking. All right. So let's get to it. Let's get to our entree of the evening. I realize I got to have a little thing, a little video clip for that. So next episode, you'll see that video clip for the entree. All right. So let's talk about overthinking, because that really, really happens. Overthinking. People overthink all the time, man. Some of my clients, people that I'm pretty sure you may have experienced it. I've experienced it. And overthinking can really be a lot. All right. So let's talk about some of the causes of overthinking. Now, one, if you are an overthinker, or not that you are, because in the show, we don't label ourselves with negative things. So you are not an overthinker. You just experience overthinking. And that's something that one of my favorite coaches, Rob Pruitt, used to talk about. That you experience it, that it's not that you are that. Because if you identify yourself as that, then you will always be it. Like if you say, oh, I'm a smoker, then you will always be a smoker. Okay. I'm a procrastinator, then you will always be a procrastinator. All right. But if you say, hey, I experienced that, I experienced this, then that's different. All right. So let's talk. So the one thing I want to talk about as far as overthinking is that it is not a mental illness. And I've seen that sometimes, that people feel like overthinking is a mental illness. It's not, guys. It's not. Now, what I will say is that overthinking can also be associated or linked with depression, with anxiety, with even eating disorders, right? So it's not a mental health illness it's not a mental health issue that you're an overthinker. All right. It's just that now, if you have anxiety, then you probably do overthink. If you have depression, like I said, then you probably do overthink. If you have an eating disorder, overthinking might trigger your eating disorder, or it's just going to be linked together with it. Okay. All right. It's a different type of when we're thinking about overthinking. All right. It's one thing. It's different than if you are saying, hey, I need to think about this situation. I need to analyze and break it down, especially on big ticket items, big ticket decisions. Hey, going back to school or going to school, what school are you going to go to? Maybe you're looking for another job. Maybe you're making the leap in a relationship. Those are big ticket things. And it's different where you're thinking about something through. You're thinking about it thoroughly, right? That's different. But when you are stuck guys, when you are stuck in your own head, and because you're constantly in your own head, you are now paralyzed. You're paralyzed by it. That's when you may be experiencing overthinking. So it's nothing where you're like, man, you know what? Should I move? Should I move to this location? Should we have kids? Serious things that you can think about. You know what? Is Captain Crunch top 5 cereal of all time? It is. It is. Okay. You're thinking about things, and there's nothing wrong with thinking about it. But when you start really just staying in your head and you become paralyzed where you're not doing anything else except thinking about this, that's when you may experience overthinking. Okay. Overthinking can be caused. So when we're talking about overthinking, it can be caused by anxiety and trauma. Anxiety is worrying about future things that haven't happened yet. So people have a lot of anxiety about things that are gearing up, hasn't happened, but trauma. And I see some people, they know that trauma can bring about overthinking. Because imagine if you were a child and let's say that there was trauma that happened in your life, then what happens is your brain gets locked in a hyperactive or hypervigilant state. So you're always just thinking, because you can't relax because that happened to you as far as trauma. Okay. So sometimes people don't even think about that, hey, that trauma can create these anxiety disorders these issues with you that make you overthink. So if you're an overthinker, you could go back and ask yourself, well, why am I overthinking? Where did this come from? Okay. So those are some of the causes, right? But overthinking is you're staying in your head, you're paralyzed with it. You can't really do anything else except keep it overthinking. That happens. All right. So let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to how we can stop overthinking. So I grabbed all this information from different areas, man. And I loved it. And I loved what I read because, it's something that I think that we all can do. So the first, number one, all right, I got 8 things. Number 1 is check out your harmful thought patterns because overthinking can happen from your thought patterns. So you need to sort of change your thought directive, your thought directive, right? Because if you're overthinking, right, it's probably, and we'll talk about the 2 things that happen with overthinking or 2 issues with overthinking. That's the first thing, is that you need to check out your harmful thought patterns. The way you think about something can really be hurting you. All right. So ruminating, and something that you can see a lot when you read up about overthinking. Ruminating is a single thought that unfortunately, guys, is connected with sad or dark thoughts that keeps repeating and 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 repeating. It keeps repeating over and over and over and over again. It keeps happening. And incessant worrying. So those are the 2 components of it. So ruminating is you keep thinking about the same thing over and over. You keep having this one thought, and it keeps just corrupting your system. Remember how we talked about that in the other episode? All right, and I'll put a link up about that episode when we talked about code and how you can have a line of thought, and if it's negative, it just corrupts the whole system. Incessant worrying, and that is when you are at this point stressed out. It's constant stress because you are anticipating negative stuff that's going to happen in the future. Constant stress, and you're anticipating negative things that are happening in the future. So ruminating and incessant worrying create that overthinking. So the first thing is, how can we check that? How can we deal with that? Ruminating, incessant worrying. Change your story. See, sometimes well, not sometimes, all the time, guys, we are in control of the narrative of our story. Now, you may have to come to grips with the reality of your story, but ultimately, you have your own paintbrush and you create that story. But if you are creating a negative story about yourself, right? You are creating this negative story. You need to change it. All right. Oh, I'm not going to do this. Oh, I need to, what I see with graduates. And now shout out to all the graduates that have happened. That is, it just flooded my time with all these graduations. Congratulations, guys. But imagine right now there was a person who didn't graduate this semester. In my experience, they really feel a lot. Oh, I'm a failure. Why are you a failure? I'm a failure because I didn't pass my class and I'm not going to graduate here. Well, you can take the class over again. I'm a failure. So think about what labels you are giving yourself. What story are you narrating to yourself? Are you saying stuff like life is hard and difficult? Then if you need to change that story, because life is not hard and difficult. You might go through some things in your life that are hard and difficult, but to say in totality that life is hard and difficult is a problem, right? And that's where you could be overthinking, because guess what, guys? You're probably overthinking it. All right. So number one is checking yourself for those negative thought patterns. Where is it coming from? Number two, change your story. You are the director. Change it. You can change how you feel about it. You can change what's going on. All right. Change your story. Number three, let go of the past. See, I often tell people that it's nothing wrong with learning from the past, but when you're constantly going back there, you're constantly reaching back to the past, especially if it was something traumatic or something that happened, you are robbing yourself of the present and ultimately the future. So let it go. All right. You need to be in your Elsa from Frozen. You need to let it go. All right. Don't let mistakes control your future decisions. Now, you should learn from them, but often one mistakes happen, we say we're never doing it again. And that doesn't even make sense if you actually think about it. That if you right now said, hey, I made a mistake, I'm never going to do it again, then all things we wouldn't have done, because nobody's perfect. See, overthinking actually comes a lot of times with people who think that perfection is real. You cannot be perfect. You can be excellent, but you cannot be perfect. All right. So perfectionists think that this should happen, right? But don't let past mistakes control your decisions now. Because think about this. You ever touched the stove and it was hot? Yes. Doesn't mean that you never used the stove again. Did you ever fall off a bike or skates? Yes. Doesn't mean that was it. You ever get in an accident in the car? Yes, probably. Doesn't mean that you're never driving again. You ever get in a relationship and break up? Yes. I'm pretty sure you're not talking to me from a monastery, right? You're not a monk, right? I mean, I could keep going. You ever had a bad sexual? Never mind. I ain't even gonna do you like that. All right. You ever had some bad food from a restaurant? All right. You probably went back. Had bad customer service for these these big companies? Yeah, I bet you went back. So don't let a mistake that happened control your whole narrative and decisions in the future. Now, also with that, don't let bad things control your emotions. So don't let bad things that have happened to you now control your emotions, because now it's like, oh, well, these bad things have happened. Now I'm overthinking because this could happen again. What if it does happen? All right. What if it doesn't? Oh, no, it could possibly happen because A, B, C, D, E. You're overthinking. So don't let mistakes control your decisions, and don't let bad things that you've experienced control your emotions. All right, because those negative things that have happened will take hold and create negative emotions. They'll take it. They're not going to say, "Oh, this bad thing happened." You can control your emotions. You can control your decisions. Okay. So number 3 was let go of the past. Number 4, which links in with number 3, live in the present. See, anxiety is again worrying about future things. Be here right now. Okay. Think about your steps right now. Be mindful of you here right now. See, sometimes we overlook the present because we're like, oh yeah, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. What about right now, man? Hey, what about right now? Oh, if I don't pay this bill today, then by next month it's going to be this and this and this, and I'm going to get ejected from my home. Relax. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What about right now? What can we do right now? Okay. If you're getting up like that, guess what? You might be overthinking. So live in the present. Number 5, master your emotions, because overthinking can have you all over the place. It can have you destroy relationships with people. It can have you do things. I can admit that I experienced overthinking, ended a whole relationship because of it. That was a big mistake to me when I go back and think about it. Right? Because at the time, my emotions were like, dude, this is no. You have to worry about this and that, and this is a problem. We're hitting the red button. We're hitting the red button. Abort. Bad decision. Bad decision. So right now, master your emotions, right? Take control of them. All right. Take control of your emotions. Don't dive too deep. Don't dive too deep in your emotions. You can say, you know what? Let's talk about the reality of the situation. Let's talk about what's going on. All right. Master those emotions. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Just say, you know what? Okay, what's going on right now? Let's talk about this. Number 6, be solution oriented. Every problem has a solution, according to me. And if it doesn't have a solution, some of these things we need to accept as fact. But every problem has a solution. So you should be identifying. I like what Tony Robbins said about this. Tony Robbins said, identify the problem, right? Watch this, but put power to the solution. I love that. Identify what the problem is, but put power to the solution. See, some people, we identify the problem and we put power to the problem, which means that we constantly, every day, talk negatively about it. Every issue, we keep bringing it up. Now we're worrying about it. But then you say, okay, what are you going to do about it? Well, I can't do anything about it. Well, why can't you do anything about it? Well, I don't know. Well, have you thought about what are some of the options? Well, there are no options. Have you thought about it? Trust and believe. I've had that conversation with people and it did not go well. So be solution oriented. Identify the problem. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But let's put that power to solving the problem. Okay. That was number 6. Number 7. Fear drives overthinking. So what you have to do is overcome fear, because it's in the dark. It's in there. It's intertwined with that. You're fearful of something. All right. So because you're fearful of something, your fear is guiding your thoughts. It's guiding your behaviors. Don't let fear guide those things. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging it. It's nothing wrong with addressing something that you may have anxiety about. But don't let fear drive your decisions, drive your emotions, drive what you're thinking. All right. When has fear ever helped us as far as, making decisions? You make a decision that's led in fear. Think about this. A lot of people look at what's happening in the upcoming elections. In the history of elections, when you take a moment and you look at, advertisements and commercials, you know what they're going to do? They're going to use fear tactics to make you do this. Oh, do you want this happening for the next 4 years? So remove fear from guiding your behaviors. All right. And number 8, last one, season 5, episode 20, is ask the right questions. As a life coach, I tell people all the time, it's not about me telling you what to do. Because I tell people, I mean, I do consult people. And when I consult you, I can tell you what to do. But most of the time, the key to unlocking real behavior is asking the right questions. So when you're sitting there and you're overthinking, you can ask yourself, why am I overthinking? Why am I overthinking this? What am I worried about? What do I think is going to happen? Is what I'm thinking is going to happen, is that a reality right now? Can I solve the problem? Chances are, if you take a moment and you sit with yourself and you bring calm to yourself, you calm yourself and you sit down and maybe you write it out. Maybe you take a moment to reflect a day. You don't let your emotions lead what's going on. You may say to yourself, wait a minute, I'm overthinking this. And chances are, you're right. You're overthinking. All right, that is the end of this episode. Hey, man, you don't have to overthink about checking out multiple episodes here. All right, don't overthink it. You can catch each and every episode hot, fresh, and ready weekly. All right, now, if you've noticed, I have been plugging away. I'm gonna pull you behind the curtain. I have been testing different times and different days throughout the week. I always will let you know when the episode is going to drop, but I do like to test sometime. I just have a theory about certain things, and I just want to see if it's true. And why not do it? You know, I can admit that I was overthinking, like, oh man, is people not going to watch it? Sure they are. You know the vibes. All right. Catch each and every episode each week on Tuesday for the most part, unless it's not. All right. Hot, fresh, and ready for you. Hey, if you want to be a sponsor for this show, please let me know. All right. Promote your goods, your services to a wide audience that is definitely very engaging, very supportive. If you want to be on the show promoting your goods, your books, your services, your ideas, hey, come on the show. Let's talk about it. All right. You can shoot me a line, send me an email. All right. Text me if you got my number. And as always, you are the best part of the show. You are. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who listens, who chimes in, who adds a comment, who shares it on social media, who tells me about it, who texts me about it. I appreciate that. You have a very busy schedule, I know. And I appreciate you taking time. So until we see each other again, because of course we'll see each other again, until we talk again, because we'll talk, and until we share those special, special moments again. Guys, always remember, man, see what you want to do. Plan it out. And don't overthink it. Just do it. All right. See you same life coaching time, same life coaching channel. And as always, as one of my friends, Nate says, be encouraged. See ya.